Hi, Innovate 1X03. Today we're going to be taking a look at how to access different research resources online. If you're in upper years, you may have seen this already, but if you're in first year or if you haven't, this is a very valuable tool that can be used throughout all of undergrad and even outside of school as well. So let's get started. So I'm in my Google Chrome. You can do this in Safari or wherever. And I'm going to go to library.mcmaster.ca. And as you can see here, you can search for specific articles, books, videos, and more. So if you type in a certain name of an article or book, it'll show you whatever McMaster has access to. And you can also click on databases, online journals, and research guides. Now, what's unique about this library, McMaster's library, is that McMaster, as an institution, has paid for multiple subscriptions and multiple different types of access to databases that are online. So with your Mac ID and username and password, you're going to be able to access lots of information that you have access to through McMaster. So I'm going to go to all databases here to see what type of information we can get. And so you see databases. Now, what I typically like to do, there's lots of different options here, but the simplest and most efficient way is to look at the general databases. And you can click on EBSCOhost, Google Scholar, JSTOR, Scholars Portal, Web of Science. And the thing that's unique about databases is that some of them are specified for a certain area of expertise. So for Web of Science, that'll give you lots of information about research within biology, for example, computer science, physics, medical research. Web of Science is your place to go if you want medical or scientific research. Google Scholar will typically have everything. Well, not everything, but it will have a lot. And EBSCOhost is good for humanities, business, sometimes also medicine. But if you can't find something in EBSCOhost, then you can go to Web of Science. So I've been talking a lot. Now let's see how this actually works. So I've clicked here, and it takes me to enter my username and password. So I click Login. And now I have arrived at EBSCOhost. And this might be a little intimidating at first, but what you should notice is here, this is where you can enter your different search options. And what I like to do is I like to think about what I would like to find. So if I, for example, would like to find information on cars that are environmentally friendly, then I can type in car. I can type in environment friendly. Now, what each of these sections means is that these are spaces for keywords. So I have my keyword car, and I have keyword environment. I also have keyword friendly, but I've chosen to put them all in the same box. Now, if you see this and here, you can have and, or not. When you have and, it means that all of the sources, all of the papers and information that this search will get you, will contain both the words car and environment friendly. But if you want your results to have either one of these, then you can change this to or, and then it will get you articles that have either the word car in it or the words environment friendly. You can also put not, so if you want something if you want resources that are about cars, but that are about cars that are not per se environment friendly or that do not have this specific language in them, then you can put not. I'm going to stick with and what's also useful is to think about the different ways you can say car and the different ways to say environment friendly, because this takes you very literally. And sometimes if there will be a paper that calls cars vehicles, then it won't get you those papers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type or vehicle, and it shows you here the different types of commonly searched synonyms for car. So car or vehicle or auto or automobile. I can't really think of any others right now, but the more you have in here, the better, because it'll give you more information. Now let's see, environment friendly. This is nice, but this is not the only thing that can be described. You can also call it eco. You can also call it green. So for some reason, this is freezing. Okay. So I will type in eco or green or simply environment. And sometimes it can be environment friendly, or it can be environmental. Okay, so that's it for now. And if there's anything else that you would like, so if you want, for example, things that are about cars, that are environmentally friendly, that gives you information about those as well as their financials side of it. So if you want information about the financial side of cars that are environmentally friendly, then I can also type here finance or financial or economic or financial health. And as you can see, I can type it as capital, I can type it as lowercase. Here you can also put and, for example, if you want to have a paper that has both car and vehicle or auto or automobile, but this can get a little bit complicated. So what I would recommend is to just do car or etc. and this and that. But I don't want finance. So I'm just going to take it out and leave it like this and click search. Okay, so you can see here that I have a ton of articles. I have 1,300 and 1,000, whatever. We have a number, a very big number of articles, and I don't necessarily want all of them, because one thing that's important, not necessarily for this course, but in some of your other courses, you're going to want to have peer-reviewed articles. So these articles that have been reviewed and have been given the green light to proceed, that they are credible. And so I'm going to click here on peer-reviewed right here. So now my number has gone down to 52,000 about, and that is much better. I still might not want to look through all of these 52,000 articles. So you can do further filters here, like if you want an academic journal, journals, reviews, magazines, conference material. Yeah, and there's lots and lots of different things you can play with here, but you don't have to. You can just take a look at the first 10, for example. And so let's see, submarining sensitivity across varied, okay. Let's say I want this one, or I want to read it. So I'm going to click on this one, on the title. And I see all the authors, I see the abstract. And typically it's a good thing to take a look at the abstract before downloading the article to see if it's something that you'd be interested in. And then I'm going to click on Get Full Text at Mac. And then there's going to be multiple options of locations that McMaster has access to this specific article. So I'm going to click on the first one. And here. So I can click on PDF. And it is taking me to this article. Now I can read it to my leisure. Cool. And this website also has most of the things online. So in some places there won't be the information in a HTML. Sometimes you'll actually really need to download the PDF, but others you can read the full article online. Okay. So if I want to return to my list, try to avoid pressing the back arrow because that might mess up your search. So just click Return List. And here, so the next one is Influence of Green Brand Image on Brand Loyalty, Study on Leading Automobile Brands. So let's say I read this article and I'd like to know more about green cars and specifically the brands of green cars. Then I can just go back here and modify my search and do this. Search again. And now I have just 475 articles. And this one is still here because it has all of the keywords or some of the keywords that I have wanted. Okay, so let's go back. Now I actually want to leave EBSCOhost. So I'm going to go back. Actually, I'll just go to library.mcmaster.ca. Here. If you want to learn more about research and the different types of ways to do that online, then you can click here on Research Skills Tutorial, and it'll have a little more in-depth information about how to come up with a research topic, how to narrow down your keywords. So if you click on Starting Your Research, there's going to be some videos that I particularly found helpful. And there's also information about citing sources, which is very important. In this course, we like to see APA citation, I believe. And there's a really nice video walking you through how to do that. Yeah, and so this is overall the tutorial. So we went over how to get to the databases, how to download articles, how to use the keywords in the boolean search, which is the or, and, or not, and where to find more information about this. And much of this is going to be more than what you need for this course. A lot of the times you can simply look up things in Google, as long as you cite them and they're a credible source. So if it's if you're unsure about whether something is credible or not, like if it's peer-reviewed or if it has to be peer-reviewed, I would suggest emailing any of the TAs or emailing Dr. Owen, and we'd be more than happy to take a look and see if that's an okay thing to be using. All right, so until next time.